Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
If she has your DNA and it's in you, she's going to want to connect. And once she sees how magnificent and how powerful, and even this form that you did, this profound display of love, you know, in having this platform and thing, it's going to blow her mind because, what you're doing here is not just selfish. You're using this situation to help other people find their way. And so even in that, where, it's benefiting her, she'll be able to see this. This is part of her legacy. You're part of her legacy. But other people will be able to share in this and say, thank you, brother, because this podcast, this show saved my life.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my nigga, yeah. I'm in you. Got my nigga Rawan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, yeah. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected, but fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
Test 1, 2. 2, 2, 2. 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call. To be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on the life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would've been a lot different if I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that them handcuffs custom made the face. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court. Found the DC school, I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and that's how I really felt. All I wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. ISUPK until it hit the fam. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, got a promote this brand, correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jail. Shit, I needed help. But Twan was locked up in the jaws, put man on the shelf. Heavy cry cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pump smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Praise to him all the time that I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was a gangster. Decisions that I made before the Lord's anger. Pray to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster.
Shalom, Lord in Christ. This office of 1,000 Yahweh. I teach you the Monday night history class. Let's see what we got. Got people checking in. Most High in Christ. All right. This is the Monday night history class. We are at ISUPK Atlanta out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. You understand? We teach all over. You know what I'm saying? We teach in different, states, different cities. You try to teach, everybody the truth of what's according to the Bible and what's going on, with the different things that's at hand right now. You understand? So today the class is on the Cinco de Mayo. So we're gonna get into a little bit of that. A lot of people don't really know what Cinco de Mayo is. A lot of people think of it as like an Independence Day for the for Mexicans, but it's not really Independence Day. It's a time they was able to, they had invasions coming and they was able to fight off that invasion. So I would compare it to something like, what's that, Hanukkah, you know what I'm saying? It's like a feast day. We have like a little celebration by the war we just fought. We was taken over, by the heathens and we fought them back and we got our, land back. They was under, fight. France, you know what I'm saying? If they would have won, they probably been speaking French right now, you know what I'm saying? But they they end up holding still on that fight. So they end up having that, and they just had Cinco de Mayo to be like a celebratory type of event. You understand? All right. So let's see what we got. All right. Most High in Christ. So before we start, anybody got any questions at all? Anybody got any questions? Not so far. All right. So let's just go here. Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Battle of Puebla that was fought on May 5th, 1862, when a smaller and poorly equipped Mexican army defeated a much stronger French force near the city of Puebla. At the time, Mexico was politically divided, financially exhausted, and under pressure from European powers after President Benito Juarez suspended foreign debt payments. France, led by Napoleon III, used the debt crisis as an opening to invade Mexico and expand French influence in the Americas. Okay. So I'm putting together to try to get y'all some information on. I'm gonna get into the Spanish Inquisition. I'm gonna try to put all my stuff together because it's a very tedious topic. But basically, in the how in the Bible and the was the first or second Maccabees when it talks about it being land. No, sorry, Salaki Ezra's when it talks about it be a land over here from over there in the old world, this being a new world. They knew about this, right? And in the 1400s, they had they already been trying to come over here, right? There was the Spanish Inquisition. You understand? So a lot of things, would happen over. A lot of things happened over there that led up to this. So, they wanted to find it. They wanted to find the land. That's what even Christopher Columbus, he knew it was land over because he read the Bible. You understand? So when they did come over and they found this land, it was like a vast piece of land that, according to them, nobody really had claims to. Of course, the natives were there. You know what I'm saying? At the time, you would call the Mexicans the Aztecs, right? That's what they'd be, described as, right? The Aztecs. And a couple other ones, I can't remember them all, but Aztecs, and there was with the Mayans and all of them down there. They were there. They had fights amongst each other, the Aztec and the Mayans. Our oppressor would give both of them weapons so they can kill each other more effectively. So they sold guns to both sides. They would agitate them to make them want to go fight each other and then get armed both sides. So basically they destroy each other's armies, and then they go and conquer both of them. You understand? That's what our oppressor did. So, but during this time, like the from the 1500s, they found this land in 1492. So from 1492 onward to about 1865, even still a little bit to this day, they wanted to pretty much colonize all of this area. So what they wanted to do was they wanted to it was like I said, it was like a big land. This thing, if just say Atlanta was up for grabs and whoever can lay stake to it, they could grab it, right? There you have people fighting. You say like it's like gang territory to a degree. Everybody wanted to get that piece of land. Everybody want to get that territory. And that's what was going on in America because everybody was trying to extend their influence. Right. You understand? So I forget what time of events, but I know France got I think after the French Revolution, they lost a lot of money. I can't remember when that happened, but they were like pretty much broke. So that's why I think they had to sell the Louisiana Purchase. So I can't remember if that was before or after. If somebody can remember, let me know. But France, but everybody wanted to have as much land over here as possible because the more land you have over here, the more dominance you had over there in the other world because you can get more money. Because the more you had here, you understand, the more the more land and the more slaves you had giving you free labor, you can send that over to there. That made your country richer. So it was like a whole bunch of different gangs of, the English gang, the Scottish gang, the French gang, the Spaniard gang, the Portuguese gang. They all coming in trying to get this land, to extract the resources so they can become the richest one, right? So that's essentially kind of like what's going on. So this thing is just this big piece of land that they know they can make people slaves. They already got the slave markets going. So they're like, let me get this land. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they wanted to do. So they can make their countries greater and bigger and more glorious than than what it is now. So this kind of give you like a little thing of it. All right. And the victory at Puebla did not end the French intervention, but it was not a Mexican Independence Day. Instead, Cinco de Mayo represents a powerful moment of resistance under General Ignacio Zaragoza. Mexican soldiers, local defenders, and national leadership proved that the French army could be stopped. Although France later returned with reinforcements that temporarily installed Emperor Maximilian, the Battle of Puebla became a lasting symbol of Mexican courage, national pride, and defiance against foreign domination. And just a sidebar of that too, right there. That's part of the reason why they wanted to keep Black and Mexicans apart. You understand? They know a lot of people don't know about what was going on. They don't know that Mexicans hid us and they let us come to Mexico. Right. When you was trying to escape slavery, a lot of people went to Mexico. There's Black villages of people that look like that's Judites. You understand? There's Judites in Mexico. Some of them might be, depending on who the father is and all that, might be, Issachar. But there's Black people, there's Black cities in Mexico. They don't want you to know these cities. The Mexicans protected us, man. We fought alongside each other. There was times I think we fought alongside them. Unfortunately, we was going against our Gadite brother. What was the fighting Gadites? The Apache. Wow, my memory's terrible. It's a lot of it. But the Apache, like we were fighting with the Hispanic, in Mexicans. They go against the Apache. We fighting each other, and that's just how they had us fighting each other to decimate each other. They had to get, the white man. They wanted to get Black people to go fight against the Apache, and then it was I can't remember the whole situation. I'll probably do a class on it at some point, but it's that whole thing that was going on. Then we end up they were supposed to give us like some type of reparations to give us land. Of course, the white man didn't do it, so we ended up going to Mexico and chilling out there, right? So but Mexico's like they actually gave, like when we fought with them, they gave reparations. They looked out after us. They actually kept their word. See, like the one thing about us, like we go on that word is bond, right? This Blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, right? Word is bond. Well, our oppressor, their word is how I feel today. You know what I'm saying? It's good today, it ain't good tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Depending on like, okay, my word is good as long as you ain't got nothing I want. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you have that reservation as long as I don't find out it's gold over there. Once I find out it's gold, it be like that sometimes, You know what I'm saying? That's what one thing the Native Americans call the gold. They said that yellow rock that make the white man go crazy. That's what they called. They called gold. They called that yellow rock to make the white man go crazy. Because they seen gold, they just lose their mind. It's like gold to them, which I mean it's money and everything, but gold to them is like I don't know, it's like they literally lose their mind over gold. You know what I'm saying? It's like how crackheads see crack. That's they rock. It's gold. You know what I'm saying? They just want to fight. They kill everybody over gold. There you go. This gold. And they'll kill everybody over that gold. They don't care who it is. They'll come take you out over that gold. You understand? So, but like I said, Hispanics, they always looked out for us. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody had your turncoats. You know what I'm saying? Your Uncle Toms. Everybody had that. You know what I'm saying? That was after, personal financial gain. Everybody had that. But as a majority, they looked out after us being slaves. We looked out after each other. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like the beef that we got, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't want to say it's not like a big beef, but like the little small tribal beef that we got between each other, that's all devil. That's devil made. That's come from our oppressor. They want us to hate each other. Right. So they did that on purpose, so we fight against each other. They didn't want because you see the French, they beat the French, and they ain't had nothing. They don't want us to fight with them because they fear what the white man. They fear losing their power. You understand? That's why they fear violence so much. They scared of Black people have being violent because they think we're gonna be like them. Because they know what the hell they did. They think that we are the same people like they are. But you know how people are, when somebody's evil, you know what I'm saying? They always think you're the one that's gonna be just evil as they are. Understand? Called projection. Go ahead.
Like, sir, we had a conversation.
Uh-huh.
He answered God. I don't really recall what the question was.
Mhm.
He answered God.
Let me see. She said God. It says if you can answer, tell what you mean by that. I forgot, man. Like I said, my memory terrible. So you gotta stay with me on that. You gotta go ahead. He said he what?
He joined in.
Oh, Most High in Christ. He on the thing. Hey, Shalom on Christ, huh?
Hey, shalom, Lord Christ, I don't want.
Oh, gold. Yep, gold is like that God. Damn right. That is their God. The God of gold. You know what I'm saying? That is their God. Absolutely. They love gold. They'll like to them decimating the whole village to get one rock of gold is worth it. You understand? It's worth it to kill everybody over gold. And that's what, and if you gotta think, that's why black people, we become like black, even Hispanics, all of us being Israelites, we've become selfish because we under this oppression with them. We've become like them. We so damn selfish. We don't understand that the damage we doing to each other by being selfish. Right. It's not about one person getting them, it's about all of us. Because guess what's gonna happen? If you got the one thing is like a saying they got, if you have a fence of everybody that's everybody that's good, you can't take them down. But if you only got one or two, you can easily decimate that. You can get rid of that anytime. But if you got a wall standing or a gate, what they would say in the scriptures, a gate, now that gate would stand strong. But if you only got two people holding up the gate, it's gonna fall down. You understand? But that's because we gotta learn what the real love for one another is. You understand? So, all right, let's get to this, man. Let's say, so Cinco de Mayo is remembered. Let me see, hold on. Is remembered differently in different places. In Mexico, it is closely tied to Puebla and historical battle itself. The United States, it became an important celebration of Mexican heritage, identity, and community pride, especially among Mexican American communities. At its heart, the story is not just about one battle, it is about a nation under pressure choosing to stand its ground. So, all right, let's go to it. Did Radak say anything? I don't even know. Oh, Radak, all right.
Yeah, Cold Cut, I'm here, sir.
All right, Most High Christ. All right, we can go to the slides now.
So, Rocky, this was after the French Indian War, right?
I don't know. You gotta look it up. I'm bad at remembering like dates and stuff like that. I just kind of remember like when I got to research them, I got to research it like 3 or 4 times for it to stick in my memory. So, cause I'll forget. I got one of them minds. My mind's just everywhere at one time. So, but yeah, look it up. See if that was before the French and Indian War. But they, like I said, they basically, like I said, they was trying to take. Everybody's trying to get their own influence. That's why, the Portuguese, they went down in Brazil. They speak Brazil down there. I mean, Portuguese, like the Brazil, they speak Portuguese. All the other countries, they speak, a lot of other countries, they speak Spanish. And you got English. And they pretty much lost everything. The only thing they was able to keep was Haiti. But then they basically lost that when the Haitians, went against them. So, but all right, let's get to it. Cinco de Mayo, the day to heal hell. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is the myth that Cinco de Mayo is Mexico's Independence Day. Mexico's Independence Day is September 16th, marking the 1810 beginning of the independence movement. In reality, Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Mexico's victory over France at Puebla on May 5th, 1862. It was a tactical victory during the French intervention, not the end of the war. All right. Why did one battle on one hill become a symbol of powerful enough to survive? So let's see. We can go to the next one. All right. I guess you can start reading that for me, Radha.
Got over cause, sir. It says a republic already wounded. Before French troops reached Puebla, Mexico, had
Mm-hmm.
already been battered by civil war, debt, and a fight over what kind of nation it would become. Number
Yep.
one,
Yeah, they was in debt. They fighting against each other. Of course, probably spawned by the white man. You know what I'm saying? Our oppressor got them fighting. You know what I'm saying? Don't think the CIA was invented. It was just invented in the 1900s. The CIA been around. They just had different ways they would do it. Understand? And what does the CIA do? They go into places, rise up both sides, talk about this side and that side, rise up something to make somebody fight each other. So it basically becomes what they want, because the CIA is not owned by America. It's owned by corporations. And if you have a financial interest in this place, the best thing to do is make them fight each other. So then now when there's fighting and that instability, you get to do things to take that over. You get what I'm saying? And that's why our oppressor, they love chaos. They love a place to go where they like to be in chaos. You see what they do in Iran today, right? What they want to do, what they try to do is they attacking Iran and telling Iran, see, if you just get up and take over the leadership, we'll stop bombing you. So they're trying to make the bombing the leadership's fault. See what I'm saying? That's why they do these type of things. These games like to play. But these are, like I said, these aren't ran by the government. These are ran by corporations. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they behave like this. It's ran by corporations. So if a corporation, like, there was a war started in I think South America about bananas, literally bananas. It made so much money they sent over people to make them fight against each other over bananas. Yes, bananas, right? And they just do that because, like I said, the CIA, and it ain't got to be technically the CIA. They got other things that they can say ain't the CIA, but it's the, you know what I'm saying, those type of organizations that they'll make to send over to somewhere to make something happen. They'll do that so that they can take over that place. You understand? All right, go ahead.
got over cause.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the War of Reform. Liberals and conservatives fought a civil war over church power,
Mm-hmm.
constitutional reform, and the future of the Mexican state.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, Juarez survives. Benito Juarez liberal government emerged as the constitutional authority, but victory did not heal the country. Number
Mm-hmm.
three, the treasury breaks. Debt and exhaustion created the opening European powers used to intervene at Veracruz in 1861.
Yep. So that just showed they use debt. They said that they owed us money, so they came over there to try to attack them. Basically, they stopped paying because they was trying to get their finances together. They stopped paying, and they decided that they wanted to come in and attack the Mexicans. All right, go ahead. Next slide.
When debt became a doorway, Mexico's empty treasury did not merely create an accounting problem. It opened the coast to European pressure and gave France a chance to pursue something larger. The invoice became an invasion route.
Mm-hmm.
Juarez suspends foreign debt payments. 1861, after civil war drained the republic, the government paused payments to foreign creditors to keep the state alive. Number three, Britain, Spain, France sends forces. The three powers landed at Veracruz under the stated purpose of enforcing claims and protecting creditor interests.
Stop right there. What that say? What that say right there? Protecting creditor interests. Who's the creditor? corporations. You understand? Probably somewhere them Amalekites in there somewhere. I'm sure. I didn't look it up, but I'm sure you could find a Stein in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure you could, right? But it's to protect they financial interests that they had here, and they use that because they want to get more money out of those places, and they want to exude more power. All right, go ahead.
Karawaga. France turns collection into intervention. Britain and Spain eventually withdrew, while Napoleon III's France continued inland toward regime change and
Stop right there.
imperial.
What did I say? What did I say?
France continued inland toward regime change.
Regime change. Did that sound familiar? Did that sound familiar? Regime change. Basically, they want you to not look out for your people, but look out for the devils. Basically, that's the regime change. It ain't got nothing to do with, you being a good president or leader or governor, whatever they want to call, whatever you want to call the king there, person that run the show. They don't care about it. They want regime change. They want an Uncle Sam. I mean, was it Uncle? Am I saying it right? That's what they want. Uncle Tom, like Uncle Tom. That's what they want, Uncle Tom. They want some, huh? Yeah, exactly. They want a Sambo. That's what they want. They want that dude. They want somebody that's just gonna bend over and just say, "Hey, give you all my money, give you whatever I'll give you whatever I ask you for." That's what they want. And as soon as you fight back, that's when they start sending forces. You see what happened with the people of Venezuela. They was getting ready to send over stuff over to what's the name over to like towards China or Russia in that area. And then when that happened, what the United States do? Go kidnap them, took them out, put somebody else in, regime change. They want somebody to only do what they want you to do. All right. And they said imperial influence. Imperial means you could pretty much, whenever you see imperial, you could just put a P right in front of that. You understand? Pimp, imperial influence. That's what they want. They want to be able to tell you what to do. That's all that is. All right, go to the next slide.
Oh, God. Napoleon III's American gamble. France entered Mexico through the language of debt, but Napoleon III saw a larger prize, a friendly empire in the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
Public door. Debt collection justified intervention.
Oh wait, you can go to read that bottom part under there, where the timing mattered.
With the time, okay, Karawa. The timing mattered. With the United States consumed by civil war, French planners believed the Monroe Doctrine would be harder to enforce.
Okay.
Debt collection justified intervention.
All right, let me read a little bit what the Monroe Doctrine is. The Monroe Doctrine was a key U.S. foreign policy statement issued in 1823 by President James Monroe. In simple terms, it said the Western Hemisphere, North and South America, was no longer open to European colonization. European countries should not interfere in the affairs of independent nations in the Americas. In return, the United States would stay out of European wars and conflicts. So that was the Monroe Doctrine. So they were saying that if they, because they were in a civil war at this point, because remember, this is 1963, we were in America was in a civil war. So they saying, while they busy fighting over there, let's go ahead and try to get this land. See how devils is? Let's go ahead. Let me snatch this up real quick, because they can't stop it because they're in a war themselves. They don't want to be fighting a war on two fronts. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to act like Israel, right? Fighting a war on 15 fronts right now. So just to give you a breakdown so you understand more about it. Keep going. We go to the debt collection.
Okay. Debt collection justified intervention. Juarez's suspension of foreign debt payments gave Britain, Spain, and France a diplomatic reason to land at Veracruz.
Mm-hmm.
France wanted political control. Napoleon III's policy moved beyond repayment toward replacing the Mexican Republic with a monarchy favorable to French interests.
Like I said, what they say, replacing the Mexican Republic with a monarchy favorable to French interests. That's what regime change is. Who we gonna get to kiss our behind? Who can I install? You know what I'm saying? They want to install a new leader who's going to be sympathetic to their interests. That's what they really want. It's like how they do our presidents now. Like they install somebody in there to say, who's going to listen to what we want them to do? Let's install this new governor. Let's install this president. Let's install this person. That's why voting don't matter. Because they're going to install whoever they want to install. Because the person that's really actually for the people, that's for the people, you're not even going to hear their name. You know what I'm saying? You know who is more for the people historically? The independents. Do you know anybody that's on the independent ticket? Never heard of them. Right? I don't even think they even get them Secret Service protection while they're running. They just let you go. Do you? You know what I'm saying? But the independent is more for the people of America. I'm not saying it's for our people, but it's more so for the poor historically than the Republican and the Democrat. But they don't have the money from the big corporations to get funded. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead.
The U.S. Civil War created opportunity. Washington was focused on preserving the Union, giving France room to test influence across the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
The March to Puebla began as a bill collection story and became an imperial project.
There you go. Next one.
Three flags at Veracruz. The crisis began as a debt expedition. At the coast, it became a test of motives. Who came to negotiate and who came to remake Mexico? Britain. Britain joined the expedition to pressure Mexico over suspended foreign debt payments. Negotiated and withdrew. Spain arrived with Britain and France under the debt collection coalition. Negotiated and withdrew. France used the debt crisis as the opening for a larger imperial project, remained and marched inland.
Mm-hmm.
Turning point. When Britain and Spain stepped away, France's campaign stopped looking like debt collection and started looking like conquest.
And that's what it really was. It's always conquest. It just they know how to be, real smooth about conquest. When you buy a country's debt, that's conquest. You understand? When you buy their debt, that's conquest. It's just you financially conquested them. You financially, won over them. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's like you don't. It's like a way of owning somebody and still can say that you're a more moral person. You know what I'm saying? Because I just got this piece of paper that say I own Mexico. You don't have to have you don't have to go there and do something that you ain't got to, like today, for instance. You're not gonna go on the 6 o'clock news to see babies getting killed, but you don't have to do that anymore because you own their debt. You own them now. They got to pay you their debt before you can do that. You can charge interest on however you want. So you own the country, you own a lot. You understand? They can charge an insurmountable amount of interest that keeps on collecting, and you know what I'm saying, and it never stops. And you own, like I say, you own that country. So it's a way to keep. It's like a, it's like, you buy a house, and if you got to keep on taking out a equity loan, you never get out of debt for that house, and then every year your dollar become less and less, so you still owe more money every year. Scam, right? That's how the money system is made. Go ahead.
Sounds like how, Germany lost World War I.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they was doing in Germany.
Yes, exactly what they did in Germany. Exactly what they did in Germany.
And that's why Hitler, he was like, his whole thing was he just wanted the land back. Germany lost
Mm-hmm.
the first war. When World War II broke out.
Yep.
He just wanted the land back.
We want the land back. He wanted Germany to be back to its, because Germany, they're like the Germans is like the Mexicans of Hispanics. Like they build everything. Like Mexicans are the builders of Hispanics. Like of all the Hispanics, they build everything. Like when how we got bridges that can go on water, that's they design. Mexicans designed that. All of this infrastructure that we got that's built up in America, that's a Mexican invention. A lot of this infrastructure is. I think having houses stacked on top of each other, I think that was Mexicans, if I'm not mistaken. That's their invention. They are the builders, but they don't get no credit for these different things. You know what I'm saying? They built a lot of things. I think you can't even think of all this stuff. I'm gonna have to look that up one day. What are Mexican inventions that people don't even know? Like I know hot cocoa is made by Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? They made that. So it's a lot of
Color TV too as well.
color TV. I think it was either them or I think that might have been Puerto Ricans. I can't remember per se, but it was definitely Hispanic, but I can't remember which one. But they made a lot of different, like that's why you see them in constructions. That's their thing. They construct the whole everything. They construct everything. They build, they the land builders. You know what I'm saying? That's their thing. So that's why they still do it to this day. They build all that. All right. And like I said, with Germany, that's exactly. It was poor. The women was selling their butt, their behinds. You know what I'm saying? Prostitution was crazy during this time. They was having cabaret clubs, they was like women was wearing like this. And today, this is like, we would consider that as being closed today. But at the time, that was bad. You know what I'm saying? They was naked for that time. But they were like cabarets. They out here just got they butt out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, today they be half naked and just going to the gym, it's ridiculous. But like at that time it was bad. Like they would have like something that might show cleavage here, show like a shape of their leg. But that was considered as being whores' clothes. And they had those parties all over in what's that the main city in was it in Germany, the main city, Berlin. There you go. They had that. Berlin was Vegas, so they had all of that mess going on. All right, crime was going crazy, and then Hitler actually unified the people, and he was fighting for Germany. So what do they always do? They make everybody come after Hitler to make everybody say he's numero uno enemy. Go get rid of him and start somebody else. Same thing. They do it with each other. Ain't that a devil? The devil do what the devil do, devilish deeds to other devils. That's a devil, boy. You know what I'm saying?
No, that don't be not because that's what it sounds like.
Exactly what it sounds like. The devil got to even be a devil to other devils. Ain't that's a devil? Good night. So that's what that is part of kind of like how they do. If you don't play ball with them, they invading. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make your people turn against you, saying you the reason why they coming. They gonna brainwash the people to make them say they coming in here because of the government. No, they're coming in here because the government actually looking out for the people more than he is looking out for foreign interests. And now they got to invade now. Look at Panama when they did that in in the 1980s and 1990s, took over Panama. Same thing. All right, let's keep on rocking. What you got on that, Radar?
Got okay. The Republic's command team,
Mm-hmm.
President Benito Juarez.
No, you can read the top part. It said Puebla was not defended by one hero alone. Read that for me.
It says Puebla was not defended by one hero alone. The victory came from a political center, a battlefield commander, field officers, and a wider Republican bench.
All right.
President Benito Juarez, constitutional liberal leader whose government became the symbol of lawful resistance against foreign intervention, held the republic together politically.
Okay.
Army of the East, Ignacio Zaragoza, general who organized Puebla's defense and commanded Mexican forces on May 5th, 1862.
Mm-hmm.
Chose the ground and held the forts.
There you go.
Field General Porfirio Diaz, liberal officer whose troops helped stop French movement on the flank during the battle, helped prevent a breakthrough. Republican bench Jesus Gonzalez Ortega, War of Reform commander and later defender of Puebla during the French siege of 1863. Carried the fight into the next act. The case note, Cinco de Mayo celebrates a battlefield victory, but the story depends on an entire Republican leadership structure under extreme pressure.
Yep. Go ahead. Next slide.
Benito Juarez, the moving republic. Juarez was not the battlefield commander at Puebla. He was the constitutional president whose survival kept the Mexican Republic legally alive. His weapon was legitimacy. If the government endured, the invasion could never fully win. Origin, from Osaka to national power.
Just real quick. Like when it comes to an invading country, to win the fight, all you got to really do is just hold off. You don't have to win the fight and beat everybody. You just got to be able to hold off and last when against an invading force. That's why Iran is doing so well, because it's a lot harder to send troops to go invade somewhere than to have defenses up. It's a whole lot easier to defend than to, actually go and take something. So that's why, like I said, Iran is holding up good, because like even with Afghanistan, you see with Afghanistan, we didn't win that war. America did not win that war, right? Didn't win it. But did we kick they behind? Yeah. We won the battles, but we lost the war. You know why? Because the same people that was running Afghanistan, the same people running it now. So what did America win? Nothing. All he did was get more money. Give it all more to give more to Israel, give more to all of the contractors, give it all to the what they call it, the war businesses, the businesses that got interest in war, all of them. That's who won. America didn't win. You understand? All right, go ahead. Well, the people didn't win. The people of America didn't win. Ain't like that. Americans didn't win. America might have won because the businesses is what run America. They won, but America did not. Americans didn't win. All right, let's go to that origin.
Karawaka. From Osaka to national power. Born in 1806 in Osaka, Juarez rose from indigenous Zapotec origins to become a lawyer, reformer, governor, and national liberal leader. The cause, defender of the constitutional republic. After the War of Reform, he represented liberal constitutional government against conservative opposition and foreign-backed monarchy. Action, led by endurance, not spectacle. As French pressure grew, Juarez kept the government moving, preserving authority while generals like Zaragoza fought in the field.
Mhm. So they had different. They had, like I said, this all about endurance. Can you endure this war? If you can endure this war, you will win. So that's why they kind of separated out. They did their jobs, and they was able to hold off the French, war. Go to Ignacio Zaragoza. The next slide.
Call it what kind?
Let's learn a little bit about him a little bit. Let's learn a little bit about him.
Count out of one kind. Ignacio Zaragoza, commander on the hill. Zaragoza's achievement was not simply bravery. He read the terrain, organized an outnumbered defense, and forced a confident imperial army to attack on unfavorable ground. Biography, a frontier-born liberal soldier. In 1829, near present-day Goliad, Texas, Zaragoza became a Mexican liberal officer during the struggles that followed independence and the War of Reform. By 1862, he commanded the Army of the East against the French advance from Veracruz. What he did, turn Puebla into a defensive problem. Rather than meet the French in an open ground, Zaragoza anchored his defense around Puebla in the fortified high ground of Loreto and Guadalupe. His famous report after the battle declared that the national arms have been covered with glory. Number one, chose the position. He used Puebla's forts and terrain to blunt French infantry attacks. 2, managed limited forces. He coordinated regulars, National Guard units, and local defenders under pressure. Number 3, preserve morale. The victory transformed a defensive stand into a national symbol of resistance. Why he matters. Zaragoza made May 5th memorable because he turned a likely French advance into a public defeat for one of the world's strongest armies.
There you go. So they basically made them have to go up a hill. Well, all they got to do is rain down on you. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's how they did it. They got the high ground on them, so they was able to you had to test your endurance to go up the hill while they can shoot down on you. It's less of them showing and your whole body showing. You know what I'm saying? So they was able to take out more than they could take out of them in that fight. You understand? So that's how that battle was won. So, and he organized it on that hill. Let's go ahead.
Wakan. Diaz and Ortega, the Republican bench. Zaragoza commanded the day, but other Republican leaders shaped how Puebla was fought, remembered, and defended again when France returned a greater force. The bench behind the Republic. Puebla's story did not end with one commander. The Republic relied on field officers and later defenders who carried the war into its next chapters. Field Commander, May 5th, 1862. Porfirio Diaz, a liberal officer from Osaka. Diaz commanded forces on Puebla's flank. During the battle, his troops helped resist French movement and protected the defensive line from being turned.
So he went over there on the flank side and helped protect that so they couldn't flank and try to get a vulnerability of them. See what I'm saying? So they read you know, the landscape, chose which better to be at, and chose where to put the forces at, and they put their spot. They, you know, they set it up so they could defend it. You know, that makes, like I said, because somebody could flank you, then that could turn, like if you fighting this way, somebody coming from behind you in your weak area, they could come and then obliterate you, because now you can't just focus on the people in front of you and focus on people behind you, to the side of you. So now it splits your focus up. But they was able, because of that, they was able to hold them back. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew that the flank was gonna come. All right, go ahead.
Gotta work on. What he did help stop the French flank threat and preserve Zaragoza's defensive position.
Mm-hmm.
Republican General 1863 siege. Jesus Gonzalez Ortega, a leading liberal general from the War of Reform. Gonzalez Ortega later commanded Puebla's defense during the French siege of 1863, when France returned with a larger army.
You know, they got to come bring a whole lot more people now. Go ahead.
Teotihuacan. What he did, defended Puebla in the next phase, showing that May 5th was victory, not final peace.
Mm-hmm.
The story beat. Diaz represents the battlefield edge of the 1862 victory. Gonzalez Ortega represents the longer Republican struggle that followed after France refused to quit.
There you go. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's try to speed through this. So like I said, we reading like some of the people, so y'all know some of the players. Because these names, like when you know, a lot of times when they try to hide history is by they close up the name, so you don't know what's going on. You understand? You got to know these people's names. So if you can't look them up, you don't know what's going on with anything. All right. Let's go ahead. The French command chain.
Teotihuacan. The French command chain. The French campaign did not stop with one defeated general. After Puebla, Paris escalated the mission, replaced commanders, and returned with a larger imperial design. First advance, Charles de Lorenzes. Puebla campaign 1862. A French general sent inland after the Veracruz landing. Lorenzes carried the confidence of an army famous for victories in Europe and abroad. Advanced toward Mexico City and attacked Puebla, but failed to break Zaragoza's defense on May 5th. Reinforced return. Elie Frédéric Faury, a senior marshal chosen after the setback. Faury led a stronger expeditionary force as France turned defeat into escalation. Returned with reinforcements, besieged Puebla, and captured the city in 1863 before entering Mexico City. Occupation phase. Francois Achille Bazaine, commander 1863 onward. A later French commander whose role belonged to the occupation and imperial phase rather than the original May 5th battle. Helped sustain French military power while Maximilian's empire was installed and defended. The pattern. Lorenzes lost the first dramatic gamble at Puebla. Faury and Bazaine showed what came next. France answered embarrassment with more troops, more command structure, and deeper intervention.
There you go. So they couldn't stand losing, so they had to bring even more people because this was like an embarrassment because you can't fight against these because they consider the Native Americans savages, like they can't really fight. They don't have our advanced war fight, full fighting. They don't have the guns and all of the stuff we got, but they whipped they behind in this battle. So, and just to kind of give you context, like at this time. Like, you able to complete off that battle at this time, is beneficial to you because, you know, this is the time of messengers. You know what messengers were? You had to go like on horseback and you just have to take a message of whoever. And you got to think if this going all the way to France, how they getting that, you know, this take a long time to get it all the way over there to come take this over. These aren't short things. They give you time to, regroup, train more soldiers up. You know what I'm saying? You know, train more people up, get them ready, regroup, get all your, supplies, take care of your sick, nurse them back to health. You know what I'm saying? Get warriors back up again. So this is a different time. Then they got to send more people over. You know, it's not a short ride to go from France to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Not a short ride. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the next slide.
Tadawakar. The Mexican conservatives bet. France did not invade a politically empty country. Mexican conservatives and imperial supporters saw foreign intervention as a way to defeat the liberal republic and rebuild power around monarchy, order, and church influence. Diplomat and imperial advocate Juan Almonte, son of independence hero Jose Maria Morelos, Almonte became a conservative statesman who supported monarchy and worked with French plans for a new Mexican empire. Helped legitimize the imperial project politically. Conservative general Miguel Miramun, a former conservative president and military commander. Miramun had fought Juarez during the War of Reform and later joined the imperial cause. Carried Civil War rivalries into the intervention. Imperial Field Commander Tomas Meja, a conservative general from the Sierra Gorda region. Meja became one of Maximilian's most loyal military supporters during the empire's final struggle. Fought for the empire until its collapse. Hardline conservative officer Leonardo Marquez. Known as a fierce conservative commander, Marquez opposed liberal power and later served the imperial side in the wider war after Puebla, extended the conflict beyond one battlefield. Case note, the French intervention was also a Mexican civil conflict continued by other means. Foreign power amplified an unresolved domestic struggle.
So yeah, they utilized this time because they was going through a little civil dispute themselves. So that's another reason why they wanted to come against the Mexicans. So, while you going through, like I said, while you going through a little bit of, fighting amongst yourself, they want to come in and then take you over. They do the same thing with black people all the time. The gangs, they promote the gangs to be here. They promote us to, you're not the east side, I'm like the west side. They like this promotion. They like this commotion because you got this commotion. You could come in and do whatever you want to do in the middle of all this chaos. One thing that really happens a lot in wars. What happens? They do a lot of child abductions, a lot of women abductions in the middle of a war. When they like these things because then what they do is they go take these women and children and take them to, these billionaires. You know about Epstein. You know what they used to do? They just go and snatch up these kids and send them over to the billionaires. And then they use that as political favors for the billionaires to keep them on what they trying to do. The CIA do this, other organizations do this, like this what they do. Because them billionaires, they pretty much like to do. I guess it's like if you had so much money and you could kind of do everything you want to do legally, you want to do something illegally, I guess, right? Because that's what excites you now. Because that's you can get away with doing stuff legal every day. You can, like, if you want to get in a helicopter and fly to Bermuda, you can do it. Like, that's not exciting to you no more. So I guess they like, let me get with some children. That's exciting because you can get arrested. It's like a thrill, I take it as. So me is sick, but to them, probably a thrill. You know what I mean? Doing something strange, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the next one. Let me see if we can skip any of these. All right. Okay. Let me see. What time is it? 8:27. Let's try to hurry up and speed through some of these. The road, what's it? The road inland.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You want to do that one, sir?
We can
The
read
road
it.
inland. Okay, cool. Okay. The road inland. To reach Mexico City from the Gulf, the French army had to leave Veracruz, climb from the coastal lowlands, cross mountain routes, and pass through Puebla. Puebla was not random. It stood on the invasion corridor between the coast and the capital, making it a defensive gate as much as a city.
Mhm.
The coast, Veracruz, the entire point. European forces landed on the Gulf Coast, where the Dead Expedition first became a military presence inside Mexico. Number 2, the inland, Cordoba and Orizaba corridor. The march moved westward into healthier, higher ground and toward the routes leading through the mountains. Number 3, the pass. Occult Zingo, the warning shot. At Las Cumbres de Ocosingo, Zaragoza fought a delay in action that revealed French strength and bought time for Puebla.
Mhm.
4, Gate. Puebla, the roadblock before the capital. Holding Puebla meant forcing the French to fight before they could push toward Mexico City. Strategic meaning. The battle happened where geography narrowed ambition into a battlefield.
So basically, they kind of break it down to you. They had to be on the Gulf Coast, right? They were, kind of gather themselves to try to go into Mexico. They had a corridor that was higher up, so then they had to go to the mountain. So they was able to, they can delay them before they can even get to Puebla. So you gotta think they gotta, this is like, they may have horses, but they have limited supplies. Because remember, they coming from France. You gotta, this ain't, they don't have military bases all everywhere like that. You know what I'm saying? They may have one in Haiti, maybe, but they don't have like enough to take over a whole country like that. So they gotta bring warriors from, soldiers from all, from their country. So they got limited supplies, got limited food, limited horses to transport on. So you just wear them down, just the whole thing of attrition. Then they come up here. Puebla is the last fight, the last spot they can hold them off, but they go into Mexico City. Mexico City is, of course, where the government is. So they hold them off. So it's like I said, it's way harder to be an invader than to be a defender. 10 times harder, especially because it gives the defender a chance to put up, to get ready for your attack. You know what I'm saying? The invader don't know what you got going on. They can only look at kind of maybe see a little bit of landscape, but you can set up blockades, you can set up, you can build things to stop them, to funnel them into one by one. And to fight somebody, one by one is a whole lot easier to fight a whole invading force. They didn't want to fight them on open ground because they would have lost that. You get what I'm saying? All right, next slide.
Got another one coming. Occult Zingo, the warning shot. Las Cumbres de Occult Zingo, April 28th, 1862. 1 week before Cinco de Mayo, Zaragoza met the French advance in the mountain approaches. The clash warned both armies what was coming.
Yep. So they waited for them to come, and they was able to, like, once that fight that started, they was like, okay, they on their way. They coming over here, so they was able to slow them down and all that. So they was able to prepare, get ready, get up all their forces ready, get everything they need ready for this fight that was coming to them. Go ahead.
Okay. This was not the decisive victory. It was the moment Zaragoza learned enough to choose a stronger defensive stage at Puebla.
Mm-hmm.
Contact. The French column pushes west. Lorenz's forces moved inland from Veracruz toward the high routes leading to Puebla and Mexico City, testing Mexican resistance along the way. Retreat. Zaragoza fights, then withdraws. At Las Cumbres de Acotzingo, Mexican forces delayed the French advance, then fell back rather than risk destruction in terrain that favored the stronger attacker. The lesson: the next battlefield had to be chosen carefully. The encounter revealed French momentum, but also bought time for Zaragoza to concentrate his defense around Puebla's forts and urban approaches. Meaning, Acotzingo was the rehearsal. Puebla would be the stage.
Yep. So they just set up alongside there to say, okay, let's see what it was like an intelligence mission. They went to go fight them a little bit, see what the kind of, what type of military they was dealing with. Then once they saw kind of like, because it's like, you don't want to, like, say somebody coming down the street, you don't want to fight them. You want to test out, see how they fight a little bit, come down the street, and you want to set up your force at your crib, so you already know what to expect. So you fight a little bit. Okay, cool. I see what you got. All right, let me come back here. Now you get to ready your armies, because remember, they can't go and get more stuff. Remember, they stuff in France. They bullets is in France. They guns is in France. All they military might is in France. You know what I'm saying? They can't. That's why these battles take a year apart. They go fight, get their butt whooped, they go back, and they come back again. Next year, that's why I was like this, because it's a long time. They can't fly over here like they do today. They can't just ship over a whole city worth of a military in a couple of months. It's not the same. They can't ship. They just before we got airplanes like that. You know what I'm saying? It's before all of that. So, all right. So it's a time you get to go back because you already at home. You can go back to your spot, okay, and then specialize your defense ready now. You say, okay, they got 100 people on horses. They got certain people, they got this. Okay, we need to get something to get rid of these horses. Let's put out something so that the horses can't move, they can't advance, you know what I'm saying? Stop the horses. Let's get something for this, and now I give you time to ready your forces on stuff before you get before the actual force come to that place. You know what I'm saying? To that next slide.
So, okay. 2 forts, 1 city. At Puebla, geography became Zaragoza's silent ally. Fort Laredo and Fort Guadalupe anchored the defensive high ground, forcing French attackers to spend strength climbing into prepared resistance.
They fighting again. They got to climb to go against prepared. They ready for them. So you got to have overwhelming force to take them over. All right, go ahead.
Okay. The coast explains the road. Puebla explains the fight. French forces entered through Veracruz, then moved inland toward the highland corridor that made Puebla a strategic gate before Mexico City.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Laredo, high ground and defensive anchor. One of the fortified positions north of the city, Laredo helped create a defensive line above the approaches. Fort Guadalupe, the key target on the hill. Guadalupe became central to the French assault because taking it could open the way into Puebla, the city. Puebla blocked the capital route. The city stood between the French inland march and the political prize of Mexico City. Battle logic. Lorenzes needed a breakthrough. Zaragoza needed the hill to hold long enough to break French momentum.
Mm-hmm.
The tactical verdict: Puebla was not just defended by men, it was defended by elevation, fortification, timing, and the cost of attacking uphill.
Yep. So it's like you multiply your forces, or making them have to climb up a hill to get to you. All right, let's go. Next one.
Kawakan. May 5th, the French attack. The day opened with a dangerous assumption. Lorenzes believed the French army could crush Puebla quickly.
What that sound like? What that sound like? We can get them in 2 weeks. That sound like we're getting this real quick. Yep. What it say? They pride should have seen them, right? They pride. Yeah, a lot of pride. Go ahead.
Kawakan. Zaragoza's plan was to make that confidence collide with terrain.
Yep. Make them run. Yeah, take all that pride and run it right into this mountain, right? You know what I'm saying? Take all that pride and run into the side of this mountain right here. We'll deal with you.
Kawakan.
Go ahead.
Kawakan, sir. The first phase was not a chaotic brawl. It was a contest between French offensive momentum and Mexican defensive positioning around fortified high ground. Before the assault, Lorenzes commits to attack. The French commander advanced with confidence after earlier success at a Cinco.
And so that's another thing. They set that up. Okay, they ain't ready for us. They can't handle this. They say now, okay, we got them, because they fought a little bit and they withdrew. They said, okay, we they fought a little bit, threw a couple haymakers. Okay, yeah, we out. You know what I'm saying, and rolled on. So they said they kept following them, and they followed them into a trap, right? Go ahead.
Kawakan. Expecting Puebla to fall before the march to Mexico City resumed. The Mexican plan: Zaragoza anchors the defense. Mexican forces held positions around Puebla and the hilltop forts of Laredo and Guadalupe, forcing the French to assault difficult ground. The first pressure: the French strike the fortified heights. French troops attacked uphill toward the defensive positions, where terrain, resistance, and artillery fire reduced the advantage of training and confidence.
So he said, when they attack uphill toward the defensive position, all of that reduced their advantage of all of the stuff they had, all that confidence. It said, it don't even matter because you got to fight uphill. Keep going.
Okay. Opening result: the quick victory doesn't come. Instead of collapsing, the Mexican line held. The battle shifted from a predicted French breakthrough into a grinding test of endurance, meaning the opening attack failed to solve Puebla. It revealed that France had walked into Zaragoza's battlefield.
So you in my house now.
Damn right.
You in my house. Let's go next one.
Oh, good. The heel holds. Lorenzes expected Puebla to break. Instead, repeated assaults against the fortified heights drained French momentum, while Zaragoza's defenders used position, discipline, and weather to their advantage. Pressure 1. The direct attack stalls. French troops pushed toward the hill positions around Laredo and Guadalupe, but the fortified ground forced them into exposed approaches instead of a clean breakthrough. Terrain turned confidence into friction. Pressure 2. Defenders absorbed the shock. Mexican regulars, National Guard units, and local defenders held the line long enough to keep each assault from becoming a decisive penetration. The defense did not collapse under repetition. Pressure 3. Weather helps break momentum. Rain and worsening ground conditions complicated French movement, reinforcing the advantage of defenders already positioned on stronger terrain. By late day, the attack had lost its force. Battle logic. Puebla was won because French assault power met the wrong ground and at the wrong tempo against defenders who refused to give the hill away.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to walk up a mountain or walk up a hill on wet ground, but people raining down bullets on you. Over with. All right, let's go to the next slide.
Okay. Diaz and the flank. Porfirio Diaz's importance at Puebla came from a tactical problem. If French forces could bend or turn the Mexican flank, Zaragoza's hills defense could unravel. Imperial pressure, the ambition behind the assault. Napoleon III was not on the field at Puebla, but his imperial project.
Sound like a devil. He's sending people to go fight on this, and he in Paris. You know what I'm saying? He had Paris chilling. You know what I'm saying? While they going around fighting the war, right? That's a real coward right there. See, our kings, they fight in the war with you, with their people. You know what I'm saying? They fight with you. They kings sit in the fortress, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Okay. The ambition behind the assault. Napoleon III was not on the field at Puebla, but his imperial project sent the French army inland. Diaz's flank defense helped turn that project back for a day. Number 1, the French Sikh movement. After frontal assaults struggled against the forts and high ground.
That's right. Let me say something too. And that show you that like who's really protected. Because when you have like corporations or rich people that wanted certain people to certain people in their power, like say Napoleon, for instance. You're listening to his rich, constituents. So he's listening to them. They want to keep him protected and isolated because he's going and fighting after their causes. But if you fighting against the people cause, you there. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. See what I'm saying? Like they warriors was there. Like the other guy, like they president, he probably in Mexico City. He probably looking at the war like, damn, they on their way. He's seeing it. You know what I'm saying? He there. But they warriors, they king, like, just like when the war in Iran and Israel came, what happened? You see an old boy, Netanyahu, he on a plane getting the hell up out. That go to show you who the cowards, right? He on a plane, he getting the hell on. Right? While there's people, let them fight while he going somewhere. They just show the cowardice, man. Go ahead.
Gotta work on. After frontal assaults struggled against the forts and high ground, pressure on the sides of the Mexican line became dangerous. Number 2, Diaz protects the edge. Diaz commanded troops positioned to resist French flanking pressure and prevent the defensive line from being rolled up. Number 3, the line stays intact. By helping hold the flank, Diaz helped preserve Zaragoza's larger plan, make the French pay for attacking uphill into prepared resistance. Why it mattered. Puebla was won not by one dramatic charge, but by preventing the French from finding a weak seam. Diaz's flank work helped keep the hill from becoming a trap for the defenders.
There you go. Next slide. So you see, that's how it was. Diaz's flank work helped keep the hill from becoming a trap for the defenders because you go, like I said, if you go and flank them, now it's you can set it up and take over that whatever that stronghold they had if you can get them on the flank. All right, let's go ahead.
Okay. Victory, but not the end. On May 5th, 1862, Mexico won the day at Puebla. The French attack failed, morale surged, and Zaragoza's report became legend. But the intervention itself was still alive. Immediate result, the French pulled back. Lorenz's defeated army withdrew from Puebla after failing to break the Mexican defensive line. The road to Mexico City was temporarily blocked. A tactical victory stopped the advance. Mexican morale. The Republic gets proof. Zaragoza's victory showed that the French army could be resisted. His phrase that the national arms were covered with glory captured the emotional power of the moment. The victory became a national symbol. Strategic reality. France does not quit. Napoleon III's government responded to embarrassment with escalation. France later returned with stronger forces, captured Puebla in 1863, and entered Mexico City. The battle won time, not the war.
So you see it took them a whole nother year to come back with some more people. Because that happened in 1862, this 1863 now. See, like I said, this takes time for this to happen. So and time isn't good on the invader side. All right. Try to wrap this on up. Go ahead.
Okay. Documentary turn. Cinco de Mayo matters because it was a defiant victory inside a much larger struggle. A single day when Mexico halted empire, even though the empire came back.
All right, go to the last slide. Go ahead and wrap it on up.
Okay. The long shadow of Puebla. Cinco de Mayo celebrates a real Mexican victory, but not the end of the French intervention. Its power comes from what happened after: escalation, empire, resistance, and memory. 1863, France returns stronger. After Lorenz's defeat, France sent reinforcements under new command. Puebla was besieged and captured in 1863, opening the road to Mexico City. May 5th was victory, not final peace. 1864, Maximilian's empire begins. Archduke Maximilian of Austria accepted the Mexican throne with French backing, turning intervention into an imperial project inside Mexico. Foreign invasion became regime change. 1867, the Republic survives. As French support collapsed and Republican forces advanced, Maximilian was defeated and executed. Juarez's Republic returned as the surviving government. The longer war ended in Republican victory. Memory. A symbol outlives the battle. Cinco de Mayo endured because it represented resistance against foreign domination, especially for Mexican communities and later Mexican American commemorations. The lesson became larger than the battlefield. The final meaning. Puebla mattered because an outmatched republic proved that empire could be resisted. The hill did not end the war, but it gave the struggle a date, a story, and a symbol.
Here you go. Now that sound like a biblical story though, kinda. You know what I'm saying? David's armies was on the hill and Caesar was coming, you know, whoever was coming, you know what I'm saying? The Caesar was coming, or the king of so and so was on the way, and they held off the resistance. And then we had a whole celebration. Don't that sound like Israel right there? This sound like Israelite story right there. Most High in Christ. So you know, we want to get into a little bit of history on that. Anybody got any questions on this right here? Anybody got any questions on this? Go ahead.
Does that story kind of sound similar to like that? Well, I don't know too much into it, but the history of the Haitian Revolution or something like that? Would you think it's something similar?
I gotta refresh my memory on the Haitian, but yeah, to some degree. I think that it was something like that. They ended up winning in the end and getting their republic back and all of that. So, but yeah, they resisted against France. France. I think that's why they always call them like a funny name because they been getting their butt whooped. Boy, it's been terrible. But yeah, they been getting their behinds whooped all over. That's why they ain't even got nothing, and they not over here no more. I guess they had to go. They had to go start taking over spots in Africa because there ain't nobody there. They was getting their behinds whooped over here. So if you know anything, the only ones that really seemed like they was able to really get a big holding over here was like, you know, the English, that type, you know, like the English, like, you know, that part, the people that anybody that spoke English, or to be like Great Britain or something like that, they seem like they got a good fit. It was kind of like English, Scottish, and Great Britain kind of like somebody they kind of teamed up a little bit. And the Spaniards and the Portuguese with Brazil. And that was the only ones that really seemed like they was able to do something. So, but I think even the Spaniards, they try to go into Brazil, I think they got their buzz whipped too. Then Portuguese kind of like subverted them and kind of took over them a little bit. So, you know what I'm saying? But that's kind of what happened. That might be what I end up looking to a class about how they end up taking over Brazil. I know a little bit about it. I don't know a whole lot, but I got to do some research on it, find out. So, you got any other questions too? Any questions in the group? Any questions anywhere in the chat?
Why do you think that people that might change so big, but the Haitian Revolution isn't so big?
Well,
like a national holiday, so to speak.
I mean, well, it's more Hispanics here from Mexico, probably. Yeah, and then it's something too, like the oppressor probably see it as a way to make money too. So that's probably another thing, because I hear too, like, and over here they started making it so like it can, you know, commercialize it. And then so it's like Mexico isn't as in a bad financial place as Haiti is. So it's like you could kind of like do something. It's like you kind of do something. In Haiti, they struggling over there, bro. It's bad. In Haiti, it's terrible. I promise you. Yeah. So it's yeah. They put them in debt for winning that war. So, and you know how you got to pay debt for whooping they behind that they enslaved you with. Exactly. Yeah. But they got to pay for whooping. Exactly. Yep. That's why they so poor now, because now we got a globalized marketplace, so they can't buy, like, you know, because when you have like a society, like, you know, you have like a country, right? You have to be able to trade in what you have. You have to have something that somebody wants, right? But nowadays, you can't really, that's hard to do because we have globalized economy. And what that means is everybody uses like the US dollar for that. But if you don't have anything that's worth the US dollar or what they say is worth, you can't buy what you need for your country. You can't buy the necessary food because you can't afford it. You can't buy, like, if you don't have the type of money that America wants, because let's say Haiti can make, let's just say bananas. But if they can't, because they're so poor, America's gonna take advantage of them, only giving them pennies of what it's worth, but they don't have any choice because they don't have any way to fight. They can't imperialize another country. You know what I'm saying? To keep like America imperializes Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying, make them pay for, that Fred Act. I think it's the Fred or Frank Act or whatever it is. They basically make it so they got to pay double taxes. They got to come products got to come to Miami first, then go to Puerto Rico so they can tax them double. But then they make stuff in Puerto Rico, but they can't have nothing like, I think they make Tylenol there, right? They got to pay, if a price of Tylenol is $5 here, they got to pay $10 there because it has to be, they make it there, has to go to Miami to get bottled up and then sent back over to Puerto Rico. Yep. And that keeps them poor, but it keeps America rich. So they like to annex countries, drain them to make themselves stronger. They're like America, like Western powers is like parasites. They can't live without, they have to live off of other nations. They can't live themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're just literally like parasites. They have to have a human host. You know what I'm saying? All right, anybody else? Yeah, you got any questions, Radar?
La, sir. I'm too up, sir. Excellent history class.
I don't swear the word. Radar know everything. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no.
Nah. That's all you. That's all you, sir. Not me.
Radar, he like, man, all right, man. He like, man, I been knew this. That's Radar thing. I been knew all this, man.
You supposed to say that when the camera get off. Not the one.
You said what? Say it one time.
No, I just said you supposed to say that when the camera rolls off.
Oh, my bad.
Not while we live.
It's a lie. But nah, man, here's a good brother right here, man. But yeah, so that's it, man. That's it. All right, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Mawasar.
ISUPK security announcements. We're at ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Group for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are all pledged 6 months. They have to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves in the world. If they need transportation, teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, commandment, numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3:8-10. Means 10 in the Hebrew, my Isra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, get to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, we will offer for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, right now, we are in the Feast of First Fruits, which ends May 31st, 2026. You might not give an aqua, check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, we get one Christian salute to the man of Israel, Mayo, Shabbat, Mayo, right? And we'll set translation from Hebrew to English. As Lord bless you, name of Christ, down at the top. Hands down, and give one Christian salute. The sisters online, man of Israel. Amar Shabbat, Amar, right?
And
we said translate from Hebrew to English. We said translate from Hebrew to English. Is Lord watch over you in the name of Christ, down on the top, hands down, class. Good, bro.